Tonight on Season Pass.
What a week for Angelo State athletics. The Bells battled top-ranked Dallas Baptist for a Lone Star Conference title, while the volleyball team competed for the AVCA Division II National Championship. That's not all, though. The Bells softball team played 5 games in 3 days, while the Rams hosted Eastern New Mexico. Highlights from Meyerfield and Foster Field coming your way. High school baseball and softball also continue district action. It's highlights galore tonight on Season Pass, and it starts right now.
Season Pass is sponsored by Kent Elliott Roofing.
Welcome, everyone, to Season Pass. I'm your host, Ryan Reynolds. If you haven't heard already, it was a pretty successful week for Angelo State athletics. We'll get into it all in a few moments. High school baseball and softball are also inching closer to their regular season finales. It was just an exciting time of year, so let's get to it. Starting with the Angelo State soccer team. This was the scene Tuesday night after the Bells soccer team became the second ASU program this spring to bring home a Lone Star Conference title. Let's just get to the highlights. This is the Lone Star Conference Championship, and it was a thriller. Defensive battle early on. This one went into overtime with the Bells taking it. Here's head coach Travis McCorkle.
It feels amazing. I mean, we talked about this when COVID first hit, and we knew that our season was going to be strange. And we said, listen, whatever games we get then our job is just to win all those games. And, I mean, I would have never guessed that we won all our games. We gave up only 2 goals in the year. It means a lot to the team. It means a lot to the program. We see a bunch of alumni over there today. And that's what you always want to build with a good program, is the strong fan base, the alumni, the players feeling pride in it. So, really happy.
Magical season for the Bells soccer team. It's their first title since 2018. Avery McNee, the hero in that championship game, was named the Lone Star Conference Tournament MVP. Madison Stokes, Kylie Hampton, Valerie Solis, and Cassidy Hill were named to the All-Tournament team. The Bells finished the year with 24 total goals scored, conceding just 2 goals all season. Congrats to the Bells. And we haven't had to use the phrase bounce back with the Angelo State baseball team this season, but that's where they sat entering their series this weekend against Eastern New Mexico. The Rams looked to rebound from last weekend's road trip to Canyon, and I bet they were happy to be back at Foster Field. The Rams unbeaten this season at home, taking on the Greyhounds in Game 1. Trent Baker was locked in. Top of the third, gets Rio Granger swinging. Next batter puts Brayton Matthews down on strikes. Baker went the distance, striking out 6, giving up just 3 hits. Fast forward to the bottom of the 5th. Bases loaded for Aaron Walters over the first baseman's glove. The speedy Jackson Hardy scores, followed by Charlie Bartlett. He beats the tag. Rams in front 3-0. Next up was Nick Novak, the shortstop. The ground ball splits the gap in left. 2 more runs come in. Angelo State would go on to score 5 in the inning, and they win convincingly 15-0. Angelo State scored early and often this weekend. Game 2 at Foster Field. I mentioned how they were unbeaten, 15-0 at home entering this one. Top of the first, the Greyhounds generating some offense. Trevor Moses lays down the sacrifice bunt. Some small ball action gets them on the board, 1-0. Angelo State got right after it in response. Bottom half of the first, Nick Novak is going to rip one towards first. He can't play it. Jackson Hardy slides in to tie things at 1. And then a little later, Jordan Williams, he's going to flash his speed. Chops one towards short, beats the throw to first. Josh Elvire scores on the fielder's choice. Rams take a 2-1 lead. They would go on to add 2 more runs in the 8th. Angelo State wins 5-1. They win their 8th series this season. Now about a uniform change for the back end of the Twin Bills. Saturday afternoon, Rams going for the sweep. Top of the first, Eastern New Mexico gets on the board first again. An RBI single from Trevor Moses. That brings in Cole Lutking, 1-0 Greyhounds. But Angelo State would respond with a huge bottom of the first. Bases loaded. Josh Elvire, he's going to come in on a wild pitch. That ties things at 1. The Rams batted around to open the game. Nick Novak gets that ball through into center. 2 runners score 3-1 Angelo State. The Rams recorded 7 runs in the first inning. That really blew things open. Angelo State sweeps Eastern New Mexico in run rule fashion. Rams win 19-7 in 7 innings. So what's next for the Rams? They host Lubbock Christian in a non-conference game on Tuesday before returning to LSC play at Cameron on Friday for a 3-game series. Taking a look at the Lone Star Conference baseball standings after today's action. Angelo State has only 6 conference games left on the schedule to try and catch up to West Texas A&M. They'll need a collapse from the Buffs if they want to win the regular season title. WT has just Texas A&M Kingsville and St. Edwards left on their schedule. The Rams, though, second place with a 19-5 conference record. Angelo State baseball bounces back. What about the Rambells? They've had some hot bats as of late. Were they able to keep them alive this past week? That's the big question. Highlights from Meyer Field after the break. Stay with us.
It's the biggest sale of the season at Furniture Row, but you better hurry because everything is on sale. Save on living, dining, and bedroom, plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. But hurry, the biggest sale of the season at Furniture Row ends soon.
Chevy is America's fastest growing full-line brand, and people are taking it everywhere. Taking Trailblazer outdoors, confidently taking on new places with Equinox, and taking on more with Silverado. Whatever you do, there's a perfect Chevy to take you anywhere. Find your perfect Chevy and get up to 17% of MSRP cash back on select 2021 models. That's over $5,400 cash back on this Equinox. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
Since 1975, Concho Valley Door has been proud to provide professional and courteous service to homes and businesses all over West Texas. And we'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for letting us serve you for 40 years. A lot has changed during that time, and we strive to keep up with the newest in products and services available. Thank you for trusting us to make your homes and businesses more secure with our overhead doors, gates, and gate opening systems. For more information, you can visit our website at ConchoValleyDoor.com or come by and see us at 610 Art Street.
Experience the magic of Ballet San Angelo's Sleeping Beauty. This children's ballet will charm audiences of all ages. Tickets are available for April 30th and May 1st at the San Angelo Performing Arts Center. Purchase your seats today at balletsanangelo.org/tickets.
Shop Denver Mattress today. Get all the Z's you need. And during the biggest sale of the season, check out the Summit Firm for only $229.99, plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Welcome back to Season Pass. Last week, Angelo State's Keely Garcia hit the seams off some softball. So many that not only was she named the Lone Star Conference Hitter of the Week, but she also received national attention. Garcia was named the Player of the Week by the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association after finishing 7 for 10 at the plate last weekend against Midwestern State and Texas Women's. The freshman hit 4 home runs, recorded 10 RBIs, 2 of which were walk-offs, and scored 6 runs. Garcia ranked 6th in the Lone Star Conference with 38 runs batted in this season. Angelo State softball was busy this week with 5 games in 3 days, a pretty tough stretch to say the least, starting with Game 1 against Texas A&M International on Friday. Michaela Corbin in the circle, scoreless. Top third, Heather Ruiz hits a solo shot to left. Dust Devils take an early 1-0 lead. The Bells looking to respond, though. Keely Garcia with a runner on second. Like I said, she's 6th in the LSC in RBIs. Gets it to left and away from the fielder. Haley Mitchell comes in to score. That ties the game at 1. However, great defense from the Dust Devils ensures that all Angelo State would get was that run. Look at that sliding catch by the Dust Devils. Can't get much better than that for International. Corbin trouble in the 5th. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 3-2 count. That's a line drive hit right at her. Angelo State picks up a win in Game 1, 3-2 in 8 innings. The nightcap went very different. Game 1 was close. The Bells made sure that wouldn't happen again. Bottom second, Courtney Barnhill with the bases loaded, hits into a fielder's choice, but a run scores. Bells on top 3-0, and the floodgates would open after that hit from Barnhill. Bottom third, Ashlyn drives in. Ashlyn box flies out to left. Ashlyn Lerma tags up from third, 6-0 Bells. Same inning, Jade Strother shoots a double into left. Another run scores, 8-0. Angelo State just running away with it here in game 2. And then the play of the game. Michaela Stroud with the bases loaded. That is a grand salami. How about that? The Bells get the 14-0 win in just 5 innings. They complete the LSC sweep of the Dust Devils. Same opponent, but now non-conference action for the Bells yesterday, trying to make it 8 straight wins. Bottom of the first, the senior Courtney Barnhill drives one right to the shortstop. She bobbles it. The speedy Ashlyn Lerma scores. Angelo State in front 1-0, but Barnhill won't be on too long. That's Madison Fernandez sending one to left. Bells up 2-0. Bottom of the third. These bats for Angelo State have just been hot lately. Keely Garcia hits an RBI double to center, 2-run score, make that 4-1 Angelo State. A little later, Hattie Shope, she's at the dish. She picks up an RBI. Angelo State wins it 10-1. Bells hosting 17th ranked Texas A&M Kingsville in a doubleheader today. Great outing for Michaela Corbin in the circle. She pitched 6 innings, allowing only 2 runs and had 4 strikeouts. The Rambell offense, though, efficient. Bottom of the fourth, Ashlyn Box chops a single down the right field line. That brings in Haley Mitchell. Angelo State up 7-1. Then in the 6th, Courtney Barnhill sends one to left. Mitchell touches home again. Rambell's in front 8-1. And a little later, bases juice for Keely Garcia. She gets hit by a pitch. That's a free run for Angelo State. 9-1 the score now. Next batter, Jade Strother. She also wears a pitch. Barnhill trots home to score. The Bells open the series with a 10-2 victory over the Javelinas. Can the Rambells extend their win streak to 10 straight games? The runs didn't come as easy as game 1. Genesis Armendariz in the circle. She pitched a gem against the 17th ranked team in the nation. The freshman pitched 8 innings, allowing only 1 run, striking out 7. This was a defensive battle. Jory Cervantes, she slaps one to Michaela Stroud. She'll get the out for the Rambells. Then to end the inning, Armendariz blowing that one by, gets Matson on free. We are scoreless after 1. And in the second, Claire Chernosky, she drives one to second. Ashlyn Lerma is there. She gets the put away at first. The Javelinas got on the board in the 5th inning, but it's the Rambells who would come out on top. Courtney Barnhill walks it off for ASU. They get the win 3-1. Here's a look at the top 5 teams in the Lone Star Conference as of tonight. Angelo State currently 4th with a 17-7 LSC record. Look at all those ranked teams, by the way. Everyone except the Rambells ranked in the top 20. West Texas A&M, who is also not listed in that top 5, they're also ranked. Definitely a competitive field for the Lone Star Conference this season. Angelo State softball has just 7 games left on its schedule. Next on Season Pass, the Bells volleyball team. They accomplished something pretty cool this weekend. Find out what after the break. Stay with us.
Hi, this is Darren Black with Black Plumbing. We are excited about the reopening of Texas. At no time in our past has it been more important to work together for our future and the safety of our fellow neighbors. I ask you to please shop local and remind you that Black Plumbing will be here for you and your community while still maintaining our safety standards. For all your residential and commercial needs, Black Plumbing will be there for you. May God bless you and may God bless Texas.
Help is on the way.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yeah, and there's 3 rows.
So you.
Your Buick has Apple CarPlay. Where do I plug in?
It's wireless.
That's so you. What do I do with these?
Careful, it's kind of busy.
Oh, I got this with my superpowers.
And a little help from your Buick.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Get this low-mileage lease on this 2021 Buick Encore GX for around $189 per month. Or get $2,700 purchase allowance.
If you live, work, worship, or attend school in Tom Green County, you can be our member. With our new online loan application, you can visit our website and apply for a loan when it's most convenient for you. Offering personal, vehicle, and home loans, we make it easy to get the loan that meets your financial needs. Loan decisions are made locally, so you don't have to wait. We're an equal housing lender.
We're smart enough to know you
For vintage handmade goods and more, come shop the Lone Star Market in Ballinger at the Warehouse, April 23rd and 24th, 10 to 5 on Friday and 9 to 4 on Saturday. Food on site. Admission is $6 at the door. Kids 12 and under are free. Come shop the Lone Star Market.
With webcasts, push alerts, and website exclusives, all completely free, behind zero paywalls. ConchoValleyHomepage.com isn't just news for San Angelo. It's keeping you connected to the Concho Valley.
Welcome back to Season Pass. Riddle me this. In a season where there's no NCAA Division II national tournament, what's the perfect ending to a season? Sure, a conference championship, as you see right here, is a good way to go out, and the Bells volleyball team accomplished that, but they weren't done there. Angelo State has been competing in the AVCA Division II National Championship Tournament this past week, and yesterday the Bells sealed that perfect ending. And that is with a national championship. Here's the final play. You can see it there. Angelo State winning that AVCA Division II National Championship, beating 17th ranked Tampa in a 5-set thriller to claim the hardware and the title. Kaylin Gilbreth, Lindsay Ledyard, Bailey Allen, and Chloe Patton were named to the all-tournament team. Angelo State finishing that magical season with an 18-2 overall record and as LSC champs in now Division II national champs. Congrats to the Angelo State Bells volleyball team. Angelo State football is back. The Rams returned to the gridiron yesterday afternoon for its annual blue versus gold spring game. It was a great crowd out at LeGrand Stadium. Despite the chilly weather, and the Ram fam have a lot to look forward to when it comes to Angelo State football. The Rams didn't compete this past spring, but instead played a 4-game fall schedule, splitting a pair of games against West Texas A&M before ending the season on a high note, beating Abilene Christian on the road 34-21. Head coach Jeff Gersh says this year's spring game is a celebration of the 4 months worth of hard work getting back to this point, it being the first spring game for Angelo State since 2019.
You know, what I told these guys is, this is a celebration of what we've been doing for, 4 months, since we came back in December and started working out in the weight room and having the off season. Today was a celebration to go out and execute and compete at a high level, and I thought we did that. We know coming in the season we're going to be a very good defensive football team, and then that showed today in the spring game. But I was really proud of the way the offense responded at the end and turned around and got the ball in the end zone a few times and did some good things. So it's just so great to be out here through, obviously the tough year that everybody's been going through, but it's a special day, and it was a great way to celebrate those 4 months of preparation for it.
Over on the tennis court for the second time this season, Angelo State's Daniela Rodriguez is the Lone Star Conference Women's Player of the Week. The sophomore finished a perfect 2-0 in singles play last weekend against a very good Dallas Baptist and a 17th ranked Midwestern State team. She defeated DBU 6-1, 6-4 in straight sets at the number 3 position before clinching the match against the Mustangs. The 12th ranked Bells, keeping on the tennis court, defeated both Cameron and Arkansas Fort Smith over the weekend to improve to 8-0 in the Lone Star Conference. They've won 10 straight matches. How about that? The Bells will wrap up the regular season on April 23rd at UT Tyler. Coming up on Season Pass, the clock is ticking for high school baseball and softball. We have some highlights after the break. We'll be right back.
Service Master by Texas Best has been servicing San Angelo and the surrounding area for over 20 years. Check out Service Master Restoration and Cleaning by Texas Best on the Concho Valley homepage.
Do you have roof damage? Call the experts at Kent Elliott Roofing. You want your roof done right, and you want it done now before there's any more damage. At Kent Elliott Roofing, we will return your call in 24 hours or less and get to work to protect your home. We complete most roofs within 2 weeks. For all your roofing needs, stay local. Call the team that's been taking care of the Concho Valley since 1966. Call Kent Elliott Roofing, 325-655-2800.
What separates a house from a home is accessibility, comfort, the ability to sit back and know this is where you belong. At Everidge's Furniture in Brady, we help make Texas homes. Our vast selection of quality furniture spans thousands of square feet. Find the perfect piece of furniture for your home. With easy in-store financing and free delivery anywhere in the state of Texas, outfitting your home is more convenient than ever. Everages and Brady is proud to be a part of your home for all these years.
The world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available in the GMC Sierra. Step up to GMC and get $6,000 purchase cash on this 2021 Sierra Light Duty Crew Cab Texas Edition. Plus, current eligible GMC owners get an additional $250 purchase allowance.
Visit Mitchell Buick GMC in San Angelo.
For the latest news, or to unwind with some engaging conversations about sports, entertainment, and everything in between, go to ConchoValleyHomepage.com/live and check out our webcasts.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we get into the action, there's only one local representative, boys or girls, in the state rankings on the diamond this week. That would be the Wall Hawks for baseball. Are you surprised? I mean, come on. Really, the Hawks have been ranked all season, and they came in at number 14 this week. District rival Jim Ned sits at number 2 in the state with an undefeated record. Can the Hawks protect that ranking against Grape Creek? Cool day out in Wall, but the Hawks bats were hot. Eagles up 1-0, bottom of the first. Kanan Brooks hits a fly ball to right. That drops in for a single, 1-run scores. Game tied at 1. Now bottom of the second, bases loaded for Kai Herbert. Sends one into the gap in left. 2 Hawks come home to score. Wall jumps out to a 3-1 lead. Later in the inning, runners on first and second for Braden Jumper. Grounds to short, but beats out the tag at first. Austin Williams comes in to score. The Hawks take it big, 16-1, the final score. Central hosting longtime rival Abilene in District 2-6A. Starting things off in the first, the Bobcats get on the board first. Caden Hammeister drives one past the pitcher into shallow center. That brings in Kyson Snelson. Central up 1-0. Then a couple batters later, it's Eduardo Luna. He's going to take the pitch and get it past the catcher. Hammeister comes in to score. The Bobcats are now up 2-0. The Eagles wouldn't respond until the 4th inning in the same fashion as well with a pass ball. Starter Frazier comes in to score. That ties up the game, and the Bobcats would pull away for good in the 5th inning. The pitcher would attempt to pick off Snelson at third, but the ball was overthrown, and Snelson takes advantage, and so does Dylan Abbott. The Bobcats win this one 8-2. Cody High starting on the mound for Lakeview, taking on Sweetwater in 3-4A action. It was scoreless until the bottom of the 3rd. High getting to work with the bat, cranks one to right center. Wyatt Henry comes in to score. Chiefs in front 1-0. Sweetwater would quickly answer back in the top of the 4th. Christian Gomez flies out to left. The go-ahead runner scores on the sacrifice. 2-1. Sweetwater takes the lead. This was a good one, guys. The Mustangs would add to it just a few batters later. Harrison Foster pops one high into shallow right. It's a bloop RBI single. 3-1 Mustangs. This one went into extra innings. Lakeview coming away with it 6-5. Over to the softball diamond. Wall taking on Grape Creek in District 6-3A. Wall wasted no time getting runs on the board. Bottom of the first, the Lady Hawks attempt to swipe second. The throw back home is off target, which allows Lauren Temples to score. 1-0 Wall. A little later, runner on for Rachel Klein. She grounds out to second, but Aspen Rubesman scores to make it 2-0 Lady Hawks. He didn't stop there, though. Wall added more in the bottom of the second. Rubesum, she's going to take this pitch and shoot it right down the 3rd baseline. 2 Lady Hawks score, 4-0 Wall. A few batters later, still in the 2nd. Klein back up to bat. She pops up to left. However, it gets by the outfielder. 2 more Lady Hawks score, 6-0. Wall dominated Grape Creek, 23-2, the final. Hey, don't go away. Coming up on Season Pass, we reveal our top 5 plays. You don't want to miss them. Season Pass will be right back.
I don't want to tell you how to think.
Basically, every single Border Patrol officer that I spoke to said that this was unlike anything that they'd seen before.
We've got too many illegal guns in the hands of criminals.
I want to give you something to think about.
The Dunlund Report, weeknights at 7, 6 Central on News Nation.
No one ever said sports wasn't partly political, huh, Peter?
Everything's political. Nobody has the exact answer.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's a misnomer. It should be called the Music Hall of Fame.
Banfield, weeknights at 10, 9 Central on News Nation.
At Glass Doctor, our trained specialists are experts at fixing foggy and cracked glass.
Looks great.
You're all set.
What we can't fix is your view.
Debbie loves you.
I gotta get some curtains.
Hi, I'm Mike with MGB, Mike's Gold Buyers. Gold and silver prices are terrific, which means more money for your gold, silver, and diamonds. Come to MGB and you'll say,
I sold gold and I like Mike.
On Avenue N by Angelo State.
Welcome back to Season Pass, top 5 plays in the Concho Valley. We talk a lot about the Rams defense. That's because guys like Nick Novak make it look so easy. Gets the speedy Camden Matthews at first. If you think that's impressive, how about this play from Game 1 against Eastern New Mexico? Check this out. Fields off the hop, right off the mound. He has a .952 fielding percentage this season at shortstop. Rams sweep the Greyhounds. They're 19-5 in the Lone Star Conference. Number 3, just a historic moment out in Dallas. The Bells volleyball team are the AVCA Division II national champions. They beat 17th-ranked Tampa in a 5-set thriller to take home the hardware. Aylin Gilbreth, Lindsay Ledyard, Bailey Allen, and Chloe Patton are the 4 Bells to make the all-tournament team. LSC champs and now national champs. What a season for ASU volleyball. You didn't see it earlier. Staying in Dallas, though, for number 2. Here's the game-winning goal. Bells taking on Dallas Baptist, the number 1 team in the country for an LSC championship. ASU threatening in overtime. Avery McNamee, game winner. Angelo State picked to finish 6th in the conference, proving everyone wrong. The Bells win the title 1-0 over the Patriots. A picture-perfect ending to a perfect season. There's really no words to describe this week's top play. If you've been to an Angelo State home game for any sport, you've probably seen superfan Julio Saldana in attendance. He's never caught a home run before until now. Look at that snag off the bat of Michaela Stroud. The emotion says it all. Julio, you're this week's top play, buddy. Congratulations. The Sterling City Eagles got their first look at their state championship rings after beating May 68-22 to claim the 1A Division I crown. The Eagles are arguably the most impressive state champion in Texas football history, going unbeaten and beating 4 of the top 6 ranked teams twice. Chance Ferguson won the defensive MVP, and Cross Knittel won the offensive MVP of the championship game back in December. Here's their head coach, Trey Sisko, now that he's got his bling.
It's unbelievable. Those kids have been, chomping at the bit for a couple of months now to get them. And, that was the biggest thing when they came out here is telling them they can't open the box till somebody tells them to. It's kind of the end of the chapter and puts everything in perspective now. I think being able for them to wear the rings around and have something like that they can show off and be proud of. I mean, it's awesome.
That's about all we have for Season Pass tonight. If you want to go back and rewatch any of the highlights shown, make sure to head over to ConchoValleyHomepage.com. And if you want to rewatch this entire episode, you can catch it on our website as well. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at KLST Sports. We'll be right back here next Sunday at 10:35. Good night, Concho Valley.
Closed captioning for the hearing impaired is sponsored by the Law Office of Rick DeHoyas.